Please be seated. Good morning, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for Timberlane Regional High School, Class of 2023. Please join me in applauding the Timberlane Graduation Orchestra under the direction of our high school band director, Mr. Kenneth Clark, and our high school orchestra director, Mr. Sam Lyons, for their performance of Pomp and Circumstance. I ask you now to please hold your applause till after I have announced all the invited guests. It is my privilege to be joined on stage today by Mr. Christopher Kellen, Superintendent of Schools, and Mrs. Katie Knudsen, Timberlane Regional School Board Chairperson. Also joining me today in front of the stage is the Timberlane Regional High School Administration. Mr. Tim Brown, Assistant Principal. Dr. Neil Campbell, Assistant Principal. Mrs. Ashley Harbell, Assistant Principal. Miss Danielle Foley, Assistant Principal. Mrs. Mara Mayer, Director of Secondary School Counseling. Mr. Mark Pedersen, Director of Secondary Education, and Mrs. Jennifer Pahopek, Secondary Curriculum Coordinator. Also in attendance are district staff. Mrs. Sandra Allaire, Executive Director of Curriculum Assessment and Learning. Mrs. Kelly Brooks, Director of Special Education. Mrs. Ginger Drexel, Director of Student Services. Mr. Ken Henderson, Director of Technology. Mr. Mitchell Mensis, Principal, Timberlane Regional Middle School. And Mr. Kurt Schweiss, Director of Music, Timberlane Regional School District. School board members in attendance today: Mrs. Shauna Manthorn, Town of Plastow, Mr. Mark Sherwood, Town of Sandown, and Mr. Donald Woodworth, Town of Atkinson. We are pleased that the following invited guests are in attendance with us today. From the New Hampshire House of Representatives, the Honorable Deborah DeSimone, District 18. The Honorable Robert Harb, District 20. The Honorable Norm Majors, District 20. The Honorable Charles Melvin, District 20. And the Honorable Dr. James Summers, District 20. We have district selectmen with us here today as well. Mr. Joe Hester, Town of Danville. Miss Tammy Bergeron, Town of Plastow. Mr. Bill Coy, Town of Plastow. And Mr. Jay DeRoche, Town of Plastow. Finally, with us here today from the Rockingham County is Commissioner Mr. Stephen Gadu, District 2. I ask you now to please rise as I call the Boy Scouts of America Troop 18 Color Guard, Plastow, New Hampshire, to present the colors. Please welcome to the podium Matthew LaBelle, Student School Board Representative, who will lead us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing as I invite the Timberlane Regional High School chorus singers and chamber singers, conducted by choral director Mr. Robert Finch, to the stage to perform the national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, of the brave.
Boy Scout Troop 18, please retire the colors. Please be seated. I would like to now call to the stage to present the welcome message, our National Honor Society President, Caitlin Baudet.
Good morning, families, friends, teachers, and most importantly, graduates. It's with great honor that I was given the opportunity to welcome you all to this ceremony as we celebrate the accomplishments of Timberlane's class of 2023. I would first like to thank the Timberlane staff who worked endlessly to ensure that all of us made it to this day. Thank you for staying after school with us, proofreading our college essays, and believing that we could succeed. I would also like to extend the welcome to the families of our graduates, especially my parents and my sister, for giving me all the support and opportunities I needed throughout high school. I would now like to acknowledge the people of the hour, the graduating class of 2023. Over these past 4 years, we've experienced high school like no other class. Even though we didn't have 4 traditional years, it is important that we reminisce on both the good and the bad times that led us to this stage today. In this past year, we've all been asked questions like, where are you going to college? What do you want to do when you grow up? Or where do you see yourself in 10 years? But today, I want to focus on the present because in reality, we're still kids. We don't need to know what we want to do with our lives because we have time to figure it out. There are 3 things that I think are important to life. The first is to cherish your time. Right now is the time to make mistakes and live because nothing is permanent. You can always change your major, find a new job, or even live with your parents for a couple of extra years. Spend time doing what you love because in 10 short years, we will all be saying when I was in high school, as we look back on all the silly mistakes we made, like failing your AP stats test, not that that ever happened, Mr. Shivel, falling asleep sophomore year during that important Zoom lecture, or being late to your first period every day with an Aroma Joe's rush in hand. We all have different strengths and limitations, and after all, these mistakes will lead us to answers of where we will be in 10 years. We should not dwell on our destiny, because the more you focus on the past and the future, the more you miss the present. The second thing that I want to remember is to be kind, not only to yourself, but to others. You must value your own heart as well as your peers. Make a conscious effort to see the good in other people. You never know what other people are going through, and your treatment towards them reflects who you are as a person. Put simply, treat others how you want to be treated. The third and final thing I want to remind you all of is to follow your heart. I would give anything to spend 1 more minute walking the halls of Timberlane, to pass by my 9th grade teachers and give them a wave and a smile, or chant Freshman at Spirit Week 1 more time. Remember that every moment is just that, a moment. We cannot skip certain chapters of our lives. We all spent too much time wanting high school to end, and we often found ourselves saying that we couldn't wait for it to be summer, and dreading those final exams, so we never appreciated it. Your favorite song will always come to an end, the credits to movies will always roll, and in a few seconds, my speech will be over. But you should never stop listening to music or watching movies. The quality of what you experienced is more important than the longevity of it. It is now time for us to find our passion and pursue it, whether that be the moment you step off this stage or in 50 years. There is no set timeline. Nothing is promised, but we were all given the opportunity to play this game of life, so make sure you are grateful for every moment of it, even when you're striking out. And with that, I would like to again congratulate the class of 2023. I would like to remind you all that I'm proud of you. Keep asking questions, taking steps, and facing hardships. I would like to leave you all with a quote by a wise man and my favorite philosopher. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. Class of 2023, may we all be a little bit more like Ferris Bueller. Thank you.
I would now like to call and introduce the school board chairperson, Mrs. Katie Knudsen. Katie will deliver the school board message.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here to speak today. On behalf of the school board, I want to congratulate each one of you on your accomplishments and perseverance over the last 4 years. They sure have not been easy. We wish you luck in your future endeavors and leave you with these parting words. For all your days prepare, and meet them ever alike. When you are the anvil, bear. When you are the hammer, strike. Thank you, and again, congratulations, class of 2023.
Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Superintendent of Schools for the Timberlane Regional School District, Mr. Christopher Kellen.
Thank you. Congratulations, graduates. Mark Twain said, "Give every day the chance to be the most beautiful day of your life." I believe we are off to a great start for that today. Graduates, today we celebrate the culmination of years of commitment to learning, and for that we are all very proud of you. While today we celebrate you, I ask that you take a moment to think about those who have helped you on your journey. Many of those people are here today, Well, there are others who are not. Although they may not be seated in the audience, please keep them in your hearts and minds during this ceremony. Perhaps you will think about a teacher, a paraprofessional, a friend, a bus driver, a neighbor, parents, grandparents. Throughout this ceremony, think about them so that they too may be part of this celebration. And of course, think about those that are surrounding you in this community embrace. Enjoy how excited we are to honor you and your accomplishments. In turn, honor those that have always been there for you with your gratitude, both during and after this ceremony, simply by saying thank you. I would like to ask all of the graduates to please rise. Please turn and face our supporting Timberlane family and give them a round of applause in appreciation for their part in your success. Go ahead, let them hear it, please. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Thank you. Go ahead and be seated again. Thank you. As you continue your journey, remember that we are a community from which we can never be separated. We are bound together by Timberlane. We are a family, a Timberlane family. Thank you and congratulations.
At this time, I would ask any graduates who are entering the military and any individuals in the audience who have served in the military to please rise and be recognized. Thank you. At this time, it is my pleasure to call to the stage our class essayist, Alexis Hornsby, to deliver her commencement address.
Hello, fellow Timberlane graduates, family, and friends. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Alexis Hornsby. As Academy Award-winning actress Octavia Spencer once said, "It's your turn to choose and define what success means to you. Now others will try to define it for you, but yours is the only voice that matters." Today we celebrate a significant success together, earning our high school diploma. But after today, our paths will diverge as we chase our dreams. Some of us will go to college to become doctors, lawyers, professors, and engineers. Others of us will be musicians, artists, and actors. Some may become mechanics or work in the trades, and some may define success as something else altogether, because everyone's definition of success is different. But what is most important is figuring out your destination based on what fulfills you and makes you happy. Live your dream, not someone else's. Once each of us figures out our personal path, we need to do everything we can to achieve it. It won't be easy and we will stumble and fall along the way. But we need to persevere. We will have to work hard and put in a lot of effort to succeed. But as Babe Ruth once said, "It's hard to beat a person who never gives up." Let's be those people who never give up. Those of us who are athletes or compete in some other way have sweated through endless hours of practices, conditioning, and training, pushing ourselves to the limit to get the skills and abilities we have today. The musicians among us have practiced immeasurable hours mastering their instruments. Others of us have had to learn to juggle work, school, and other obligations. Everyone has put in the work to succeed up to this point. Life from here forward will be no different. I know it can be daunting to embark on something new and to leave your comfort zone, whether that's leaving home to go to college or join the military, interviewing for a job, trying out for a new team or position, or maybe moving across the country for the next step on our path to success. But have confidence in yourself and your abilities. Don't be afraid to reach for the stars. Don't settle and don't ever give up. After all, we're still young. If we fail, we have plenty of time to pick ourselves up and try again. And remember, you're not alone. Family, teachers, coaches, and friends are our greatest allies. They have helped us get here today, and they will always have our backs and be there to support us when we need them. So as we move forward, let's remember to stay true to ourselves, find the courage to chase our dreams, and always persevere. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2023.
Thank you, Alexis. At this time, it is my pleasure to call to the stage our class salutatorian, Thomas Young, to deliver his commencement address.
Hello, everyone. When trying to start my speech, I was unsure of what to write about. People use common sayings and even inanimate objects to make their point. None of that relates much to my character, though. Instead, I think it's important to look at where my journey started. I'm up here for academic achievement, but my character, a trait which is shared among all of us, is what I'm most proud of. Before I was born, there was a vote among family and friends on whether I would be a boy or a girl. Only 2 people thought I was going to be a boy, out of over 30 guests. Once I was old enough to understand others around me, I asked my father whether he wanted a boy or a girl. He said he envisioned having a son, but I was not sure if that was the truth or if that was because a boy was placed in his arms. The standard ideas of a father and son relationship came to mind at that moment. He loves fishing, yard work, and sports, a love he hoped to share with me. When looking at a son from that traditional view, I am not the son my father thought of that day. Though we share humor and personality traits, I cause problems even up through this year that still drive my father crazy. Everyone feels like they let their parents down for their choices, or feel that they don't live up to their parents' ideals. However, we are lucky enough to have been born in a community where I can make this speech about finding oneself. I am lucky to have been born into a family who loves me for me. Still, I worried, if I was a different person, would my father be more proud to call me his son? That's when my mind went to the lyrics of a song called Teddy Bear, where a group named Stacy's members Yoon and Seun sing, "No need to rush, no hurries. Anyway, you know we're all new in this life. There is no right answer." Everyone is doing their best, and everyone seated before me is an example of that notion. My father's English and my mother's math abilities combined are what brought me to be standing up here in front of you today. For anyone listening, go at your own pace. It took me 18 years to learn the value in what my parents have given me, and I've only just scratched the surface. I may not be what my father was expecting, but ultimately that doesn't matter. I'm living my life of who I am. In turn, I realize that's what makes my dad most proud of me. I love you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for everything. Now, class of 2023, whether your future path involves college, work, or some other adventure that is calling to you, don't worry. There are no more right answers. Trust you will do what's right for yourself.
Thank you, Thomas. At this time, it is my pleasure to call to the stage our class valedictorian, Anna Hammer, to deliver her commencement address.
Good morning, class of 2023. My name is Anna Hammer, and I'm honored to be speaking to you today. As you prepare to walk across the stage, look around. Think about the ways that your life has been impacted by the people sitting around you. And I'm not just talking about your closest friends. Maybe it was a conversation you had in 7th grade English or on your middle school bus. Maybe it was an interaction you had with someone else's black screen on Zoom sophomore year or on your JV team or at your old job.
Some of you will share the next few years together. Maybe you'll be wearing white and blue UNH Wildcat shirts in the fall with dozens of people sitting here today. Or you're going into the same trade or heading across the country to join the military with someone else. But for most of us, the reality is that we will not see the majority of the people here again after today. And that's the thing about high school. Our lives have uniquely intersected with each other's to play a small or big role in each other's growing up, and we probably won't take on that same role for each other again. But whether we realize it or not, we will all take with us pieces of the people we have grown up with. We've learned from each other, and these people have helped shape who we are today. So class of 2023, I encourage you to live in a way that will positively impact the people around you for the short time you get with them. During the winter and spring of my junior year, I was able to see firsthand the influence of investing in relationships, even for a short time. In December 2021, my family had the blessing of adding a 1-year-old foster girl to our family. The 6 months she was with us were difficult months in many ways, but also some of the best. This year for Easter, almost a year after she left us, her entire family knocked on our door to share Easter dinner with us. Not only was she reunited with her biological mother, but her biological parents were back together, and she now had a relationship with her sister. It was a beautiful realization of the impact 6 months can make. 6 months of our lives that we spent caring for and loving a baby girl that we didn't know played a small part in setting her life and the lives of her family back on the right trajectory. We were grateful to have a short time with her. That seemed relatively insignificant to us, but it grew to be significant in the lives of her entire family. Right now, take a second to think about a teacher, coach, or teammate that made any kind of impact on your life. Who took the time to listen to you? Who spoke words of genuine affirmation? Who cared about you as an individual? This is the kind of difference that matters. Teachers we've known for 36 weeks, coaches that we've had for just a few seasons, and teammates that we've been with for only a short time have created a lasting mark on us. I still remember teachers who took time to listen and give me advice for things in my personal life. I remember coaches who knew just how to encourage me when I was having an off game or meet. And I remember teammates, classmates, and even coworkers who genuinely cared about how I was doing outside of the team, class, and workplace. We're going to remember these people for how they made us feel and the impact they had on our lives. Just as my family had the opportunity to play a small part in the reunification of our foster child's family, we all get small opportunities to play a part in each other's lives. So to our graduating class, I hope you will be the person that will leave a positive impact on other people for the short time you get with them. I challenge you to value things that go beyond yourself. In class of 2023, I hope you'll live in a way that matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. I needed that. About a month ago, at the Senior Assembly, I shared with you all some of my personal experiences, my concerns for you, and making sure that you would not jeopardize this moment. I spoke to you about your full name being announced and what that moment would mean to you and the people who stood behind you. I spoke, and you as a group sat and listened in the most respectful way a principal of any student could have asked. You gave me a moment. Moving forward to this week, which was all about getting ready and being ready to change at any second here and pivot, we had to worry, what's the weather going to do? It's going to be great. How to make sure the seating was correct. Who was doing what for graduation? The last 2 nights, my rock star administrative assistant, Ms. Patty Mangini, wasn't supposed to say her name, sorry, and the administrative assistants were getting ponchos and baggies ready for you guys, so that your diplomas would be secure if it was needed for the rain. Plan, pivot, if we needed to change. And that's the great irony, because you are the class that had to embrace change more than any other high school class. From COVID to remote learning, to safety protocols for in-person education, to the new normal, whatever that is, you all had to embrace change to get to this moment. It is part of the growth mindset that is so needed for the next generation. And that will be the greatest skill when you leave Timberlane. Your ability to evolve to the situation will stay with you forever. That ability will allow and encourage you to go beyond your comfort zone. Be the change you want to be. Gandhi says it. It's good stuff. Change promotes understanding and empathy for others, which is needed now more than ever. Change is necessary to create progress, which can be both exciting and scary. It makes the world a better place. And you are and will be the agents of change because you have excelled at it for the past 4 years. Class of 2023, it has been my honor and privilege to be your principal. With that said, let's change the topic now to give out some well-earned and highly anticipated diplomas. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you. At this time, I ask Assistant Principals, Mr. Tim Brown, Ms. Danielle Foley, and Ms. Ashley Harville to come forward to introduce the members of the graduating class of 2023. As the principal of Timberlane Regional High School, it is my pleasure and duty to present the class of 2023 to the Timberlane Regional School Board and to certify that each member of the class receiving a diploma today has completed the requirements established by the State of New Hampshire and the Timberlane Board of Education. Mr. Kellen and Mrs. Knutson and I will now confer the diplomas.
Anna Zoe Hammer. Thomas Robert Young. Alexis Brianna Hornsby. Matthew Michael LaBelle. Caitlin Michelle Baudet. Olivia Jean Buckley. Jake Herbert Balicki. Jack Christopher Abel. Casey Gregory Gordon Achilles. Jessica Michelle Adams. Emily Paige Ahern. Nika Ajamian. Ava Elizabeth Alexopoulos. Ethan J. Anderson. Madison Joe Ashford. Dante Raymond Auger. Trey O'Neill Baker. Nora Grace Berry. Sean Kerrigan Bean. Callum Richard Belfiore. Gavin Ryan Billcliffe. Jack Ryan Birdsall. Matthew James Blackadar. Harrison Brian Bloom. Amy Bonwagner. Abigail Elise Bone. Evan David Bosch. Cody Charles Boucher. Kyle Joseph Burke. Reese David Bauer. Braden Joseph Bowman. Colby Stephen Bramhall. Isabella Rose Brandolini. Lillian Gail Burns. Cody Thomas Burt. I feel like if you can stand over there. Charles Joseph Carnes. Jacqueline Malin Carey. Presenting her diploma is her mother, Michelle Carey, Sandown North Elementary staff. Cooper Lewis Karen. Robert Edward Cartwright. Presenting his diploma is his mother, Lisa Cartwright, Pollard Elementary staff. Jacob Thomas Cole. Kaylin Alexia Collins. Malachi Anthony Cologne. Dylan Conley. Kyle Christopher Contarino. Dominic Miguel Capetta. Francesco John Cordio. Caitlin Ann Cornell. Derek Marcus Coyle. Kylie Marie Croto. Shane Patrick Cunningham. Allison Rhea Daigle. Brandon Joseph Davis. Carmela Jane Defina. Olivia Paige DeLegge. Nicholas Frank DeLucia. Colin Mitchell DeMarco. Diego Joseph Desjardins. Isabella Grace DiNapoli. Evan James Doherty. Sadie Evelyn Grace Doloff. Shannon Donahue. Jessica Jean Dow. Autumn Paige Doobie. Julia James Doobie. Zachary DuBois. Presenting his diploma is his stepfather, Mitch Mensis, Timberlane Regional Middle School staff. Connor Dunn. Haley Shea Dyer. Aiden Patrick Irico. Jonathan Joseph Fabrizio. Haley Fall. Shay Rebecca Fanning. Haley Farrell. Gabrielle May Feltner. Caden Hayes Ferguson. Arden Grace Ferrari Henry. Megan Maddie Fetty. Lucas Robert Fitzpatrick. Mackenzie Rose Flanagan.
Samuel Jacob Flibbit. Molly Margaret Ford. Samantha Madison Fowler. Liam Jeffrey Francis. Jacqueline Helen Fuller. Owen Thomas Furlong. Madison Sarah Gallant. Nathaniel Peter Galvin. Presenting his diploma is his mother, Martina Galvin, from Pollard Elementary staff. Aiden Michael Gelinas. Lauren Taylor Genest. Kaylee Joy Genualdo. Jeffrey Gian Gregorio. Adam Michael Joya. Jacob Michael Goodsell. Dylan Robert Greekwood. Julia Nicole Greco. Adrian Beecher Garrett. Bowden Joseph Hadwin. Tucker Hadwin. Rachel Karen Hale. Vanessa Renee Hawks. Edward Joseph Hayes V. Allie Marie Helfrich. Allison Grace Henderson. Presenting her diploma is her father, Ken Henderson, of Timberlane Regional School District staff. Amelia Faith Hernandez. Ava Rose Hollow. Charlotte Ocean Hosterman. Cameron Matthew Ingram. Leland Johnson. Julia Marie Johnston. Dylan Kane. Isabella Grace Keogh. Sophia Fiona Keogh. Ty Zev Karam. Samuel Robert Kincaid. Thomas Joseph Labatt. Annabella Sophia LaFond. Abigail Catherine Lakin. Mary Beatrice Lamar. Nico Langlois. Sophie Bridget LaPlante. Sage Brian Lauer Furrow. James Sousa Laurencio. Jenna Barbara Lavin. Presenting her diploma is her mother, Lori Lavin, of Pollard Elementary staff. Emily Lindenberg Lemire. Jake Christopher Levesque. Macy Ray Lewis. Ryan Robert Libatori. Cole Matthew Ligori. Summa Marie Lind. Benjamin Little. Ryan Williams Lavolsi. Lillian Lockhart. Anthony Robert Lopez. Gunnar Raymond Lustgarden. Zachary Gron Lytle. Lila Elizabeth Macaluso. Holly Nicole Malkin. Riley Eileen McGrath. Juliana Barbara Mann. Samantha Morgan Manny. Presenting her diploma is her stepmother, Dessa Manny, of Timberlane Regional High School staff. Jake Matthew Manning. Gianna Colette Marcotte. Brady Michael Marston. Evan Roderick Martin. Sarah Joy Martin. Colby John Mason. Olivia Joan Matarazzo. Matthew Garrett Mazer. Ashley Jean McFadden. Taisha Isabel Melendez. Tyron Joseph Miranda. Lucas Reed Merrill. Juliana Lee Miguel. Julian Troy Militello. Jeffrey Christopher Millar. Abby Sophia Miller.
Caleb Robert Moley. Spencer John Moody. Alexis Taylor Moore. Andrew Michael Morin. Samuel Wyatt Moulton. Olivia Jean Murphy. Ella Noel Murray. Jaden Michael Mwanji. Sophia Marie Nelson. Adam James Noyes. Miles Culver Nyson. Maggie Daly O'Connor. Stephen Patrick O'Connor. Natalie Jacqueline O'Donnell. Presenting her diploma is her grandmother, Donna Paoni, Timberlane Regional School District staff. John Casey O'Leary. Oluwakemie Temitayo Ogunyankin. Gage Stephen Osborne. Ryan Nicholas Palmer. Francis Kala Paquette. Victoria Ann Paquette. Emily Rose Paradis. Avery Mariah Patlis. Austin Tate Patnod. Caden Nicholas Pelletier. Braden Michael Paris. Nicholas James Peralt. Hannah Bryce Perron. Landon Charles Pettengill. Isabella Melanie Fair. Megan Elizabeth Pichet. Thomas Alexander Pirog. Marcello Yonutz Popa. Daniel Salvatore Post. Cassidy Lynn Powers. Cole Adams Priest. Ella Janice Raposo. Casey Joan Richard. Emma Claire Richard. Dakota Elizabeth Ritter. Blake Edward Rivera. Jaden Alexander Rollon. Lydia Marie Russo. Julia Rose Schieber. Luke Hale Sabelli. Frankie Stephen Sheffield. Miles Flino Sherwood. Abigail Arlene Short. Brandy Elizabeth Sickle. Rebecca K. Silva. Tess Victoria Simmons. Darby Flynn Simmons. Alexa Marie Simone. Molly Catherine Smith. Emma Elizabeth Susi. Brady Michael Stack. Amelia Steele. Alex Scott Sweet. Marcus Jacob Ternulo. Peyton Thompson. Alicia Marie Tripp. Spencer James Tyler. Madison Rose Vance. Alexis Veroni. Michael David Waltz. Sean Robert Ward. Emily Grace Watson. Hunter William White. Brady Nicholas White. Kaylee Lynn Wild. Matthew Brian Williams. Benjamin Stephen Winter. Robert Michael Woods. William Christopher Woods. Peyton Lynn Wright. Camden John Zambrovich. Graham Robert Zambrovich.
Congratulations to the class of 2023. We have one last award. It is my honor, on behalf of the high school faculty and administration, to announce the recipient of this year's Outstanding Senior Award. The Outstanding Senior Award is presented annually to a graduating senior who best embodies the ideas of scholarship, character, and service. This year's Outstanding Senior epitomizes dedication, kindness, and the ability to continuously impress. The students' achievements include honor societies, top 20 in the class, captain of athletic teams, member of Life of an Owl, and Project Hope, and those are just to name a few. The student is genuinely one of the nicest people you will ever meet. In fact, the word genuine is a perfect adjective for him. He is a genuine athlete, student, person, and inspiration. His character is a model for what we want our students to achieve. I honestly do not know if I could ever attain the standing and respect that this young man has earned from this school and his peers, which makes him all the more impressive. Because you see, that character is staying true to yourself when everyone is trying to convince you how great you are. When you earn the best accolades, it's often easiest to forget why you got there. You did not fall into this trap this year. You consistently held true to your beliefs and values, humble, kind, and always willing to share the spotlight. Even at the prom, when crowned king, you and our Queen Darby decided to share the spotlight with another student, and thus you share it with all the senior class. Evan Doherty, you have impressed us all with your talents and who you are. For all those reasons, this is why you are this year's Class of 2023 Outstanding Senior. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium Student Council President Olivia Buckley, who will share her salute to the class of 2023 on graduation day.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to be giving the salute to the class of 2023 at this time. As I looked back on what we have learned throughout our 4 years, I remember a few things. 1, the Pythagorean theorem, of course. 2, don't park in the visitor spots, especially if you have a really easily recognized license plate. 3, free fist bump Fridays, shout out Mr. Horgan. 4, sleeping on Zoom is actually a really good way to catch up on sleep. And 5, the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. We use these to form basic questions, probably in elementary school. But today, I wanted to dive deeper as they have created the idea of humanity altogether. Who? Who are we? Individually, we all come from diverse backgrounds, have different aspirations and unique talents. Together, we are the class of 2023. We are the inspiration, dreamers, and individuals connected through the community of Timberlane Regional High School for the past 4 years. We are the new architects of change for the future who have used our individual strengths to break the traditional realms of high school. What? What are we doing here? I'm sure most of you felt lost as you woke up this morning. You now have your diploma in your hand and are probably thinking, well, that's it, I guess, but maybe that's just me. Everyone has accomplishments that have made them successful in a special way. This experience has been a pool of discovery for ourselves, designed to become young adults in our society. Instead of dwelling on this moment, we should be proud of it before it turns into a memory of the past. When is the time right? As we reach this milestone today, we stand on the precipice of new opportunities. This peak moment follows new beginnings for further growth. As we leave our high school memories behind, let us embrace the present. Where has this journey unfolded, and where will it take us? Physically, we grew from shy freshmen to confident senior graduates in the halls and classrooms at 36 Greeno Road in Plasso, New Hampshire. In reality, the connections between one another, the endless conversations with our teachers, and the hardships we have faced is where we have grown the most. We will all remember TRHS, but we are now taking different paths that will expand our experiences to greater possibilities. I challenge you to not conform to a location or building, but rather travel to new places, engage in differing views, and encounter new individuals. Lastly, why? Why have we embarked on this educational journey? Education is one of the most powerful tools on earth. My mom taught me that, but it is true. It shapes our individuality and aids us in exploring our interests of the world. It creates our drive and what we aspire to be. I'm sure many family members have questioned your plans after high school and asked, who do you want to be? What will you do? When will you decide? Where will you go? But graduates, I urge you to ignite and nurture the flame of passion within you. Strengthen the desires that fuel your soul and never forget your why. Thank you. At this time, I ask you to join me in moving our tassels from the right to the left. Congrats, class of 2023.
I now would like to call upon Senior Class President Jake Balicki to deliver the closing remarks.
Before I give my speech, I'd like everyone to join me in a round of applause for our class advisors, Mr. Horgan and Ms. Bird, who have done so much for our class and have taken care of us today. I don't know where you're sitting, but I just want to say thank you. What's up, guys? Hello, graduating class of 2023, friends and loved ones. Today is a very special day, not only for the students, but for the people around them. This defining moment of your life is to be celebrated. This moment is the conclusion to 12 years of hard work and dedication. Whether it was elementary school, middle school, or high school, those moments all led to where you were sitting right here and right now. For me, when I reflect back on my time, I have these random, vivid memories. They make me smile now, even though back then they may not have always been the happiest. I think back to elementary school, showing up a week before class starts and searching for my name tag on the desk in the big print black Sharpie. My mom and Chrissy Mason planning scavenger hunts or whatever kind of events they could to get as many people in our grade together just so we could all have a good time. Football at recess, where we played so hard it was like we were in the Super Bowl. I think back to middle school, move-up day, going into the pack and meeting new people that were on my team. In PE, when we did the Olympics unit, where we draw flags and play games for points to help our country win. Losing by 40 in our 8th grade basketball playoff game, which wasn't that funny then, but now I think it's funny to look back at. I reflect on the past 4 years of high school, joining Zoom calls for class and struggling to try and learn math in my bedroom, getting my license and having the freedom to see friends more, winning the football championship alongside my teammates and celebrating the whole bus ride back, somewhat redeeming that 40-point loss all those years ago. All these little vivid memories and many more are things to me that feel like they just happened yesterday. All these moments accumulated to me being where I am right now. Today is a big day to celebrate yourself for your achievement across your academic career. All of you knew that this day was coming, but at all, during the past month, week, or even at all today, did you take the time to step back and take in this moment for what it was? Did you ever stop your head from racing about whatever is going to happen later or what is going to happen next? Just take in the now. My final piece is that each and every one of you take some time today to just pause and look around. Appreciate this moment for what it is. Think of all your vivid memories that put you where you are in this very moment. Take all of it in. Lastly, I want to say thank you to my parents, Kim and Ted, because without them, I would not be up here speaking to you today. I would like to ask the class of 2023 to all stand up for me. I have just one question. Who's the best? Who's the best? S-E-N-I-O-R-S. Who's the best? Who's the best? S-E-N-I-O-R-S. Everyone throw your caps. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! And 1. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you. Good job, Jake. Before we depart, we'd like again to thank the class advisors, Ms. Helena Bird and Mr. Alex Horgan, for the past 4 years of supporting the class of 2023. We'd like to thank all the staff volunteers who helped make this day possible and our facility staff for a job well done. I want to thank our families for sharing your amazing children with us over the past 4 years. Parents and guests, please wait until all graduates have cleared the track before leaving your seats. You may join the graduates behind the concession stand on the field or begin to leave campus. Graduates, you will be exiting shortly from my right, your left-hand side. Please follow the directions of your advisors as you proceed and exit towards the concession area. Good luck and go Owls!